Hi guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing and I'm here to do a bit of a discussion video today. So I want to talk about two different things in this video. One of them is the view of wrap-ups versus reviews, and then also I want to talk about libraries and booktube. So basically I saw recently something that just had me thinking kind of about some opinions about reviews versus wrap-ups, and also about libraries and booktube and stuff like that. So I wanted to start off and talk about wrap-ups and reviews, and personally I obviously love to do wrap-ups, and I only do reviews now and again. Generally reviews, you don't see a whole lot of booktubers do loads and loads of reviews. Basically it's a lot of wrap-ups, a lot of TBRs, a lot of recommendation videos and stuff like that, and I personally like it this way. I'm not really that interested in watching review after review after review of maybe books that I haven't read before. I prefer seeing them in kind of more condensed down wrap-ups. In my opinion anyway, I wouldn't say wrap-ups aren't reviews. I would just call them mini reviews. I mean, you see a lot of people use different words for basically what a wrap-up is. A wrap-up is a wrap-up of all your book reviews for that week or that month or that season, whatever it is that you do. You often see people maybe call it, you know, book review 1 to 5 or 3 mini book reviews. I mean, that's what wrap-ups are. They are mini book reviews. I find generally with a lot of wrap-ups, someone is normally talking maybe about 4 or 5 minutes with each book, depending on how much they have to say about it, and obviously, you know, you get their kind of condensed views there, and then you see, for me anyway, personally, the way I do my wrap-ups, I like to get to my points. I like to say what I liked, I like to say what I didn't like, and luckily for me, I do have a bit of a habit of sometimes going off on tangents that I have to edit out, because I'm like, this actually has nothing to do with the book. If I was filming a big review on that book, maybe I wouldn't think of cutting that out because of timing. Obviously with wrap-ups you do need to talk about different other books, so you're probably going to time yourself down a little bit more. So for me, I find wrap-ups are a really good way for me just to get my point across and get my feelings clear, and I don't end up doing all these spiels and waffle on for ages about basically nothing. And I do find that some book reviews, I mean obviously book reviews do vary in length. You have ones that are 10 to 15 minutes long, you have some that are about 6 minutes long. Sometimes you go into the book review that might be 6 minutes long, you might get 1 to 2 minutes of a synopsis, like kind of being told about the synopsis, what the book is about, and then it goes into the review, which basically is what happens in a wrap-up anyway. Getting that 2 to 4 minute review in a wrap-up anyway, so you know, you might as well just watch a wrap-up. Now, I am not saying that people who do reviews are wrong, or people who prefer to do reviews are wrong. That is fine. I do love watching a review myself. Personally, I only watch reviews if it's either a book I really want to read and the book is spoiler free, if it's maybe one of my favourite booktubers that I watch every single one of their videos is doing a review, that I like everything that they have to say about books, or it's a book that I've read a book that I am eager to see other people's opinions on. I'm a lot more likely to click and watch a full wrap-up instead of a book review. Personally for myself as well, I kind of talked about this before, I have not got any kind of degree in English or in like creative writing or anything like that. I didn't study books the way a lot of people have studied books. Like I don't have that, I guess. Some people it comes naturally to them, but for me it doesn't really, about, you know, where you're able to kind of pull apart a book and really analyse all these different bits about it, and you know, really dig deep into the meaning of the book and everything the book does and everything the writer portrays in their words. Some people are amazing at doing this, and amazing at doing this in singular book reviews. I personally am not like that, so I can really just say like maybe why I like the characters, why I like the plot, maybe touch into deeper parts of the book that I personally have an understanding of, but I can't do this kind of real critical review of every single book, because for me I just don't have that skill. I just lack that kind of skill, so I'm certainly not going to try and do that and expect people to watch it, because it probably won't be very good. Sometimes you just don't have that much to say about some books you read. There's no point in me putting up a 1 to 2 minute video review, singular video review, when I can just stick it in a wrap-up. I don't think anyone is really going to want to view that anyway if I just want to say, yeah, like the book was good and that's all I have to say about it. Like I liked the characters and I liked the setting and it was nice, and yeah, like, you know, like sometimes books are just that, they're just those mediocre books that you don't have big emotional feelings on, but you don't really have any critical feelings on either. Sometimes it's just an okay book and you know, that's all there is to it, and that's okay. I do obviously do singular book reviews. You guys have seen my singular book reviews, but generally I stick to those for books that I feel like I have a lot to say about, like obviously maybe books that have really moved me, books that just really mean something to me, a lot of books that sometimes I would obviously take part in a blog tour for the publishers if I've gotten one for review from the publishers, and I will do singular book reviews for them. Sometimes I have giveaways thanks to the publishers for them, and now I'm not saying that like I find like sometimes there are books that I've been given by publishers for review that I actually find it very difficult to come up with a lot of things to say about it for a book review that might be 6 or 7 minutes long. Sometimes it is a little bit of a struggle and I have to do it, and I don't enjoy those videos that much. I'd much rather just have it in a wrap up and that's it. But sometimes if you have obviously committed to a blog tour for a book, you have to do a video review for it. You have to do a singular book review for it, or something along those lines. So I'd really like your opinions on just wrap ups versus reviews, whether you are like me and you really, you know, you have them in the same boat. For me, wrap ups are reviews, they're just mini reviews, or if you think they are completely separate entities, ones you prefer to see, how much reviews you watch versus how many wrap-ups you watch. I would just genuinely really love to know. Another thing I want to talk about today is obviously libraries, and this is something again that has come from something I saw earlier, but also it's something that I've seen thrown around every now and again, and it just really makes me angry. And it's this opinion that booktubers don't use libraries and booktubers don't use secondhand bookstores. But I'm specifically going to be talking about libraries in this. You guys know I love my library. I do library hauls more than I do book hauls. I just tend to go to the library more than go to the bookshop. I'm very lucky that I have a local library. I have an amazing local library that I'm able to go to. I could walk to it if I wanted to, but I do have my car and I'm able to go up. I do have the bus. I can go up to it any time I want. Now, not a lot of people are as lucky as me. Some have to travel further for their library. Some might not be able to use their library at all. I'm very lucky in that aspect that I have a library that is close and that I have access to. But for people, I just think that people who kind of make this throwaway comment sometimes that booktube is anti-library, or booktubers don't use libraries and they don't like used books and that kind of thing, it's just like, I'm generally watching these videos sometimes or seeing these tweets or, you know, wherever the comment is, and I'm just like, what are you watching? Because we are watching completely different booktubes. So many of my booktubers that I watch, my favourite booktubers, everyone that is on my subscription, not everyone, but like a lot of people on my subscription feed are all library lovers and are all library users. Even if they only use the library maybe once or twice every, like a month or every couple of months, or, you know, only go there like once a year, they're still using their library. Or if they just use the library for their kids' books, you know, that they're still using the library. And a lot of people do go to thrift stores and go to secondhand bookstores, and it's not just smaller booktubers, a lot of big booktubers as well. For example, Trina from Between Chapters, she uses her library all the time. Joyce from Scribbles Reads uses libraries all the time. A lot of books she buys are normally books that she's read from the library first. She has talked about that previously in a tweet, I think. They've all used their libraries. Books and Lala often uses her secondhand bookstore. I think she uses a library, but she definitely uses a secondhand bookstore a lot, and she has shown it in vlogs and stuff as well. And a lot of people might not even like say it out loud that they use their bookstore, they use the library, but you can see it sometimes in the book they're holding up. You can see the library sticker on it, so you know it's from the library. And like, again, for anyone who seems to think that booktube is anti-library, you only have to basically just do a simple YouTube search of library hauls or checked out book hauls. You know, like, there's different names given to different library hauls, but like, you know, the videos are there and the people who are using them are there, and there's a lot of them. And so yeah, I just really resent that statement, or that opinion that booktube is anti-library. I don't think that as well. And like, not only about physical libraries, but so many people on booktube use the online services for the library. Like, I personally get all my audiobooks from the it's called BorrowBox for my library. So it's like I get it on my phone, but I use my library card to do it, my library details. And as well, I know a lot of people in the US use Overdrive for their ebooks and for audiobooks. So again, like, you just have to be watching closely to the videos and you can see that a lot of people do use the library. And to be honest, one of my opinions is as well is that why would we ever criticize someone for buying books? We are a community of book lovers. We want we want books to continue, we want books to thrive, we want the business to thrive. Why would we ever give out to someone or criticize a community for buying books when it supports what we love? It means that what we love has a future. Libraries are amazing, but again, books need to be sold. I personally have a very high turnaround of books that I use, either books I've gotten from a secondhand bookstore, maybe books that I have been given for review, and also books that I've bought myself full price. Generally, unless I feel like I will reread it, or it was a favourite book, or it just has a very, very, very gorgeous cover that I want to keep on my bookshelf, for example like Carrie Fletcher's On the Other Side. I'm probably not going to read that book again, but I think the cover is beautiful, so I'm keeping it on my shelves. Unless I feel like that with a book, it generally goes into a permanent bag I have in my room of books I'm going to donate. So yeah, so all those books that I'm buying will go into a secondhand bookstore. Someone else will buy them, someone else might end up giving them back or giving them to a library, so it's like a full circle. So yeah, this bit of the video is basically just me shutting down any opinions that BookTube is anti-library, because as I said, I resent that statement and I think it's completely wrong, and I just think you just need to look a little bit closer. If you do think that, just look that little bit closer, or do a few more searches, and you'll find so many people who love libraries. We love libraries. And also there's loads of readathons and stuff based around libraries and borrowing books and stuff like that. So yeah, please let me know all your opinions about wrap-ups versus reviews and libraries and BookTube, because I would really love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys again next time.